So that's very, very good points. And now, what about the location? So you have you decide whether you're going to use pots or pans or containers or a plot. What about location of your
you want
garden?
as much sun as you can get. Very few vegetables can do with less than about 6 hours of sun. Maybe some lettuces and such. But they don't want the full summer heat either. You can plant them in the spring or the fall. So generally you want an area that's going to face south or southwest. It gets a lot of sunlight.
Okay, that's good to know. That is really good to know.
That's your first step. If you don't have that, maybe you want to work out something with your neighbors who do have sun. A lot of people share.
Oh, that is nice. They don't steal the vegetables? No. Okay, just checking, just checking. I live in a condo, and unfortunately, our board decided not to allow a couple to use it wasn't a piece of land that was valuable by any stretch, but they didn't want to start a precedent. And but I was sorry to see that, because I personally support this strip of land being turned into a garden. He would be very willing to give away vegetables to anybody who wanted it. But when children get involved in this, one thing parents need to keep in mind is that children love to play in dirt, and in fact, worms. They can't get enough of worms, and also they learn by doing. And one of the easiest things is, like, I had to see these pictures of kids banging on spoons and driving mamas crazy. Well, just get them to dig in the dirt and go outside and play. Do you have any suggestions for parents to get their kids involved?
Well, they might want to start with some small seedling plants that have already been started in a nursery.
Now, you brought some in. Now, I understand, John, you work at Van Wilgen's, and I brought it. I just picked up one of the things. I'm not sure if it's showing up in the monitor, but everyone is very familiar with Van Wilgen's over in North Branford.
Right on the North Branford line.
And when are there tulips coming up around their sign? I want to photograph those.
In the next few weeks.
Right. All right. All right. Tell them I want them to come soon. I've been dying to photograph them. And are their pansies ready?
They are.
Okay, good. I'll remember that.
Pansies.
But they sell containers of flowers and what are some of the things that you brought? I wouldn't want to say.
Those are some vegetables. Those are cold weather vegetables that I thought would be well designed to work with young people. And
now, cold weather vegetables, explain that.
Those are vegetables that you start in the cold weather, so you can put them in the ground now before it's already had a chance to warm up.
What is this?
Those are lettuce. Yeah, that's lettuce, right. That's romaine lettuce. And you'll notice that it's in a coconut fiber pot. And the concept,
this is real coconut.
Coconut fibers.
I never knew that.
So what you can do with that is, rather than take it out of the pot, you just plant the entire thing in the ground. And then it biodegrades, the roots grow through it, and as it decomposes, it provides nourishment to the plant.
Oh, now that's clever.
Yeah. And you don't have to worry about damaging the little delicate roots.
Oh, that's very clever. So then gardeners can start now.
They can, with many things. And as Jude was pointing out, some of the seeds can be put out now. Now, in fact, there's separate classes of plants. You don't want to try to grow lettuce in the middle of the summer, as Jude pointed out, because what you're going to find is that the lettuce will probably go to seed very quickly before you'll have a chance to enjoy it. When it gets stressed, it goes to seed.
By cracky, that's exactly what happened. Were you looking at my garden?
It's a common phenomenon.
Yeah. Wow, I thought it was so. You must have peeked. I have a plot of land about this big, and I tried some lettuce. You peeked at my garden.
And it doesn't taste very good when it goes to seed.
Very bitter, very bitter.
No, it was terrible. Oh, isn't that interesting? So so this is
lettuce.
And then what's that up there?
There's some celery.
Celery.
Strawberries. And you can see the flowers, and pretty soon there'll be strawberries. And there's some onions.
Yeah, red onions. And all of those are things which typically young people enjoy eating. And one of the keys to a successful garden, if you want to engage young people, is have it produce things that they will enjoy eating.
Yes, that is very, very true. I hate to tell you this story, but I will. A friend of mine gave me some strawberry plants, and I didn't get around to planting them right away. I left them on the kitchen table. And they were growing, they were happy, they were growing. I put them in the ground, they died. What went wrong?
Oh dear.
What went wrong?
Well,
I was crushed.
I'll tell you, one of the problems with trying to grow them in the kitchen, you probably don't have bees in your kitchen, right?
No.
And you need bees to pollinate the flowers. So
Oh, that is a good
berries.
point.
Yeah. So that's why outside is good for things like that. Now, why did they not do well in your yard? Typically, a situation like that is too much or too little water. And sometimes, and although this is a good time to start planting, if the ground is still wet or muddy, you don't want to do it. You want to wait till the ground gets a bit drier. By the same token, you want to make sure that the roots and the seeds stay moist, so that if we don't get rain, which is hard to believe in the spring around here, but if we don't get rain, then you do need to water, because it's just key to the successful growth of the plant. As Jude pointed out, sun is key, water is key.
That's very interesting. I'm going to tell you another quick story. I had planted some flowers against my garage, and they were doing beautifully. And I hadn't watered them, and they were beautiful. And I thought, God had a hand in my flowers. And I found out a month into it, my neighbor was watering for me. I think that's what happened to my strawberries. He didn't know to go around the fence and water my strawberries. Oh.
God forgot to tell him.
Yeah, he forgot to tell him. So, well, that's great. Now, you brought in for children, you're suggesting if they wanted to start from scratch, use beans. Explain, you have brought 2 different packets.
Well, I
Explain
brought some beans, and these are just regular green beans. But with littler kids or anyone who has a little difficulty picking up tiny little seeds, or seeing the tiny little seeds as we get older, beans are great, peas, corn, squash.
Yeah,
They're
and-
nice big seeds.
Yeah, you can feel that.
Yeah, and you can do that. Like if you're looking at flower seeds, for instance, you don't really know, which
Oh, yes, you
flowers
could
have
do
bigger
that.
seeds. When you're at the store, you can feel how, and you can hear how tiny these pepper seeds are. So peppers and tomatoes, which have really tiny seeds, are a lot easier just to buy already started for kids.
Well, what about my method, which is just pour as you go along? Does that work?
It works if you thin them.
Yeah.
Because they're not designed to grow as closely as you pour them. So what you have to do is, after they start to come up, is identify the ones you think are the hardiest, and then remove the others, and create enough space so that they can grow unencumbered by their neighbors.
And how much space should be between them?
It varies by plant, and
Yeah,
on
well,
the seed pack
say
it will
right in
tell
the
you
package.
how far apart they're supposed to be. But it's not uncommon for people to do what you do, which is to pour them out, because many of the seeds are small, and it's not possible to sit there and take out one of each little tiny seed. So you pour them out, and then the ones that do the best you leave, and the ones that don't fare as well you take out.
Oh, because the only other way I could see doing this is with a, clippers or tweezers or
Tweezers,
something.
yeah.
something.
Yeah, and
But
most
this-
people don't
yeah.
have patience for that.
You're right.
No, I don't either. I'm much more the poor. I'd rather buy 2 or 3 of these. But I think the better idea is to buy these already started.
Right, and you get some quick results, because for children, looking at that bare path of earth is not very interesting.
No.
And some plants are really quick. Radish is about 30 days. A lot of kids may not like those, but they can see it happening. And you can mix in some flowers. You can buy a few little pots or little packages of some flowers started, have a little color in the garden. That'll make it fun. And your information on the seed package will help you decide when to plant it and how deep.
Well,
These,
the interesting thing is, I was doing a little background on this, and it was suggested in some of the teacher materials that I was looking at, is that children keep journals. Like they take the picture, they take
Right.
this, put it on a journal page, take down the important information, and then do maybe daily's too much in the beginning, but weekly observations with notes. Black dirt, no rain, rain, watered. And so that they can develop, it could be a lifelong activity, but then they can learn from their notes.
Absolutely, you can refer to them.
Yes,
Right.
and they can find out why the flowers are doing well against the side of the garage and why they're not. But that's it also gives them a chance to for children a chance to interact with their family in a very positive way. Very, very interesting.